There's no shortage of nihilistic videos on this platform about the struggling comic book industry. Equally, many videos romanticizing the difficult field, and neither approach portrays what to expect or what to consider if interested in becoming an independent artist. To clarify, there's nothing wrong with these types of videos. Everyone has a right to express themselves however they want to, within reason, of course. However, these types of videos may not be as helpful to a viewer who is still developing their craft. With that being said, the goal is to inform people what they are getting into when they pursue being an artist. Everything I'm listing is based on my experience as an indie artist, so even though I'm putting a lot of thought into this list, I know that some of these considerations won't fit every situation. But yeah, let's get started with you need to persevere. 4 challenges every comic creator faces. Number 1, comparison. Comparison can help with understanding art trends and even help inspire your work, but it can quickly become an unhealthy obsession with chasing trends, gaining followers, and competing against peers. I know I struggle with this sometimes, because in a world where everyone's successes are posted online, it's hard to remember that they had their own journey that brought them to that point, and that they are continuously striving to better themselves like everyone else. The phrase comparison is a thief of joy comes to mind, and it ties perfectly to my point that every journey is different. It's a simple notion, but when you have goals within a competitive field, it's sometimes hard to see that. A way to combat comparison is to develop empathy for yourself. It's unfair to expect instant success in a highly competitive field that requires so much time investment. It takes time to build a reputation, a portfolio, a following, a shop, and develop your craft, etc.
Etc., etc., etc.
Very well, Your Majesty.
Additionally, you can adjust your social media experience. Social media. My God. You can adjust your online experience by disabling likes, avoiding following certain people, and developing a no-hands approach where you just upload your work and that's the extent of your social media, which I find personally helpful. So if you're feeling discouraged because you feel you need to be at a certain phase in your life, make sure you're not just comparing yourself to others. Additionally, things look different depending on whether you work for a comic book publisher, doing freelance work, or selling your own artwork. Remember, every journey is different. Number 2, mental health struggles. Although there are many benefits to creating art, such as self-expression and stress relief, there is also the potential of experiencing emotional distress. The nature of art as a career poses a myriad of mental struggles. For one, artists are often introspective and sensitive, and as a result can struggle with separating their identity from their work. There is also the idea that capitalism actively works against creative work. Capitalism thrives in constant feedback from customers and a revolving door of goods. And for many artists, that contradicts the time it takes to develop pieces. As we know, artists can be their worst critic, and that can be a heavy blow to self-esteem. Additionally, when you get in the zone, it's easy to spend the entire day drawing, neglecting physical health, social interaction. Oh my God, there's the social again! Why can't I say social? Social. What I was trying to get at is that it's very easy to neglect your health and relationships with other people when you are in that flow state or in the zone, as some people call it. I really hope that this video isn't coming across as negative because that's not my intention, but it's important to know all aspects of a field you are interested in. It can put things in perspective right from the jump rather than struggling alone with negative feelings. And there are ways to alleviate and avoid these issues. It's just a matter of upkeep, like changing the oil in your car. And can I say, aside, please change the oil in your car. Do you know how many car problem videos I see where that's the source of the issue? Just do it. It's not that bad. Just do it. And just like maintaining your car, you need to maintain every aspect of your life. Make sure you exercise, be out in nature, and maintain your relationships with family and friends because we can't navigate this life alone. And if possible, talk to a counselor or therapist to help regulate moods through turbulent times. Number 3, financial stability. There's no mincing words here. Multiple sources of income are needed to make indie comic creation viable. the barrier to entry is low and thus it's highly competitive and saturated. That isn't to say that making a living on your art is completely out of the question, but it's becoming rarer and harder. I think it's important to set yourself up for financial stability to avoid problems. And there are multiple ways to do this. Of course, the try and true method is having a second job, whether it's a full-time job or a part-time job while working on your craft, doing art gig work, commissions, selling art and products through conventions and trade shows, building a YouTube channel, streaming, ad revenue through comic hosting platforms like Tapas and Webtoons, and having an online storefront, to name a few. But keep in mind, many of these options are going to take time to set up and build a customer base or an audience before money can be made, and even then, nothing is guaranteed. I'll give you my personal story. I used to work as a dog groomer, and I mentioned this a couple of times, but it was a very exhausting and kind of stressful job to have. I got to a point where I really just wanted to focus on art, publishing a comic, and just selling my art prints, just doing it full time. And I was able to do it, at least for a year. Maybe a little more. I'm a little fuzzy in the details, but that's besides the point. I found my experience kind of mixed. There was definitely interest enough that people were buying my work, which I'm forever appreciative of. But I really hated the aspect of going into the analytics of my artwork to delve into what's working, what's selling, what's not selling, what do I need to do more of that is selling. So I had to do some self-reflection. Do I want to own a business or do I want to just create art? And ultimately, I enjoyed creating my comic a lot more than running the business. And so I had to make a pivot, I had to get a part-time job while working on my dream project, which is Wildpack, the comic book that I'm working on right now. Maybe if I went at it for a few more years, things would have been a little different. But again, I don't think I just have that entrepreneurial spirit like others do. Personally, it's such a weight off my shoulders to have a part-time job and a consistent income without having to worry about lining up the next project or job hunting and competing against others for gigs, but that's just my experience. It's up to you to figure out how you want to approach income. There's no right or wrong way. Realistically, it's going to be a combination of multiple things, so choose what works for you. Number 4, time investment. This is something that is necessary. A lot of time is needed for every aspect in an independent artist's life. From building up a catalog of art to marketing your work, there is a lot of initial setup and potential financial investment to get started. This large time investment can cause stress due to lack of finances during this time, since it takes time to create work and can even lead to burnout. This is why it's important to have financial support or a savings before and during the start of your art business. In the end of the day, being an independent artist is a business, and it's important to keep a level head and have perseverance. And there you have it, my friends. That was 4 challenges every comic creator faces. I wanted to try and discuss topics I feel encompass the common experience, and hopefully that's helpful. I don't know why this video took so long. I guess I really wanted to try and put the best information out there to be as helpful as possible, and I don't know why, but it was so difficult for me to make this video. The video went through so many changes and thematic angles, and I wasn't sure for the longest time how to approach making this video. It was also difficult to try and balance being informational and then just being negative, because I don't want this video to be depressing and downtrodden and negative. But with that in mind, this field can be difficult, and it's important to at least know that much. Now, there's more I can talk about, but those would probably be nuances and not warranted for a whole video, but maybe someone out there thinks differently. If there's something that you think I should talk about in the future, let me know down in the comments. It's the holidays, it's busy, and this is probably going to be the last video of the year. I would like to say that I could probably push out one more, but that's just not true. I'm just gonna be honest, it's gonna be a busy time spending it with family, planning out the next year to come, which is time well spent, for sure. I want to thank everyone for watching my videos and for those who subscribed. I'm very appreciative, and I'm hoping to come out with some more cool stuff to share very soon. Till then, take care and happy holidays.